Iran has agreed to allow limited nuclear inspections for 3 more months. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency negotiated the temporary agreement at crisis talks in Tehran. It could give negotiators some breathing room as they struggle to revive the 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and world powers.
For Rafael Grossi, the clock was ticking the moment he touched down in Tehran. He faced an imminent deadline to convince Iranian leadership to drop a new law that would suspend UN inspections of its nuclear facilities. But Iran first wanted relief from oil and banking sanctions. For now, Grossi has secured an extension of sorts.
The Italian ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo, Luca Attanasio, has been killed in an attack on a UN convoy on Monday. The Italian president has denounced the cowardly attack. Mattarella said that the Italian Republic is mourning the loss of the servants who lost their lives and offered his deepest sympathies. The newly appointed Prime Minister Mario Draghi has also offered his deepest condolences to the victims' family. Senior Italian diplomats confirmed the killings earlier on Monday. Talking to agencies, the top officials said that the ambassador was on a fact-finding mission to the troubled eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the convoy for the UN's World Food Programme was attacked in an attempted kidnapping by unknown assailants.
The heavily fortified green area in Iraq has been attacked with a volley of rockets, with security officials stating that the US embassy was the main target. The attack is the third in a week to target Western diplomatic, military or commercial installations across Iraq. Iraqi security officials say that at least 2 rockets landed within the perimeter of the Green Zone, where the American and other foreign embassies are currently based. At least 1 rocket hit the headquarters of Iraq's National Security Service near the US diplomatic mission, damaging several cars parked there. 1 other rocket crashed into the nearby residential district of Harthia. A statement from the military now says that there have been no casualties and the investigation is currently underway.
EU foreign ministers are meeting to discuss whether to slap fresh sanctions on Russia over the jailing of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. The EU's push to punish the Kremlin follows what some called a disastrous trip to Moscow earlier this month by the bloc's foreign policy chief, Josep Borrell.
The EU's top diplomat insisted he had to find out face-to-face the Kremlin's views on relations with the bloc.
The European Union at this stage is an unreliable partner.
Russia expelled 3 EU diplomats while Borrell was there, which he admits he only learned from social media. After heavy criticism for his passive performance next to Lavrov's laceration of the EU, Borrell says he's now convinced Russian authorities are not interested in rapprochement.
The United States reported its COVID-19 death toll crossed the staggering 500,000 mark on Monday, nearly a year after the novel coronavirus pandemic upended the nation.
It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious diseases expert, on Sunday told CNN, quote, "It's nothing like we've ever been through in the last 102 years since the 1918 influenza pandemic. It really is a terrible situation that we've been through and that we're still going through." Case rates in the U.S. have declined markedly to their lowest levels since the Thanksgiving holidays. But Fauci told CNN, quote, "We want to get that baseline really, really, really low before we start thinking that we're out of the woods."
So we begin with some breaking news from Malaysia, where the Immigration Department has defied a court order and has deported more than 1,000 asylum seekers and children to Myanmar. Earlier, a Malaysian court granted the migrants a temporary stay. That ruling followed appeals from human rights activists. Malaysia had promised not to deport Rohingya or UN-registered refugees. That's because Myanmar is in the middle of a crisis following this month's coup. The military is coming under increasing international pressure. The G7, a group of the world's wealthiest nations, has condemned the junta for its violence towards protesters, saying the use of live ammunition is unacceptable. 3 protesters have been killed since February the 1st. They are refusing to back down until deposed leader Aung San Suu Kyi is released.
Following a tense standoff between Australia and Facebook for more than a week, the Australian government has finally struck a deal after tweaks to a proposed law forcing big tech to pay for media content. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg confirmed the deal on Tuesday, after talks with Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg over the weekend. 4 changes will be made, including one which allows 2 months for internet companies to strike private deals for news content before the government-appointed arbitrator intervenes. In response to the changes, Facebook said in a statement, quote, "We are satisfied that the Australian government has agreed to a number of changes that recognise the value our platform provides to publishers relative to the value we receive from them."